Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in PE. Sort of what was the thing that was it sort of a calling, doing PE growing up?
So I am finishing up my 27th year in education as a PE teacher. I started my career in Renton at Nelson Middle School. Um, I thought I was interviewing for an elementary position because I had never done a student teaching experience at the middle school. So I was in Renton for about 12 years and then took some time to raise my kids, my own children. And then 19 years ago, I was asked to come in and help out at Olympic View. Um, was PE my calling? Well, I have always been an athlete and had many different platforms to participate, soccer, track, traveled to Tahiti to play exhibition soccer games. Um, and actually that Tahiti trip is what sort of put the idea in my head. My coach gave us an opportunity to make some money. It was $75 at the time. And we worked at a soccer camp at our high school. And that was the first time I was put in a situation of teaching younger players skills and demonstrating. And it was such a brief sort of moment, but I really enjoyed the instant feedback of teaching and showing somebody a skill and actually seeing them execute it. And so, as most people, as you go through high school and you decide to go to college, you have to ask yourself, my gosh, I'm 17 or 18. What do I want to do for the rest of my life? And because I am surrounded with educators in my family, my parents are both teachers. And my siblings are lawyers and librarians. I decided to be a PE teacher. Little did I know the journey to becoming one involved anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, exercise physiology, very heavy on the science.
Hmm.
So I managed to survive that. Did the method courses, which were how do you break down a skill and teach it? And so I kind of just pushed through that dream of teaching, persevered, and um, the more I did it, the more I became proficient, and the more I did it, the more I began to develop a program. So,
Hmm. Nice. What's sort of the day-to-day like as a PE teacher? What sort of stuff do you do in that regard? Because you teach elementary school kids, so like what kinds of stuff do you do?
oh my gosh, I wear so many hats as a teacher. Um, from the time I get to school to the time I leave, I'm interacting, I'm checking in with students. Um, I'll pop into the cafeteria in the morning and have breakfast. And my program is pretty much set up to do 2-week units. And so some of my heavy lifting units are biking and skating and archery and then the other part of my program is the curriculum that I teach from. And the curriculums, in my opinion, I really like it. It's very well rounded. There's the nutrition piece that teaches students about how to read food labels, healthy eating, the fitness part, how to manage their levels of intensity. Basically, everything that adults pay for at a gym, I'm planting the seed and um, getting them to become independent, uh, to take ownership over their fitness over their lifetime. So,
Hmm. My next question is, this is like a more general question that's been having on my mind, like what's going on in our culture when it comes to like food generally, like because oftentimes, like you see people, some people eat healthy, they exercise, but there are other people not so much. So I'm wondering what your take is on that.
that's I don't have a problem educating my students about nutrition. There are other teachers that I in the district that are very sensitive to nutrition and body image and body type. I just pretty much teach from the curriculum and I inform them. And so some of the things I inform them about are nutrients, right? The nutrients are fat, protein, and carbohydrates. And those are all three nutrients you find on food labels. And the word calories, I educate them to understand that those are units of energy. Uh, and so then I ask them, where do you want to get your energy from, right? If you have a soccer game, do you want to eat a Rice Krispie treat? Or what are some other alternatives? And they'll tell me maybe a granola bar or carrots. And so I really keep it about here's the facts. You make your own choices. And I take it a step further. I'll say, if your parents are okay with you making your own lunch, then ask them to buy you a specific kind of sandwich meat or the ingredients to make it yourself. But Laszlo, it's really hard because Olympic View, since you have left, has become even more internationally diverse, which I love. Like it's my forever school. And so some of the challenges that I've seen with some of our families from different cultures, um, they will go to Costco or whatever and they buy the packaged stuff and they just throw it in their child's lunch. And so we're talking cookies, chips, granola bars that have high sugar, box juice, and that's the meal, right? And
Hmm.
so it's not a lot, but it's enough that you're like, how do you educate that family to do different? Not better, but just different. Another thing I tell the kids is everything in moderation. Fast food isn't bad, but if you choose to eat McDonald's every day, then I would be worried. Like I don't want to put shame around it and that um I also educate them that energy in and energy out. So our body needs fuel, especially if we have some students who skip meals. It's like your body needs fuel, your brain needs fuel. But then if you're choosing to indulge, right, in more the sort of unhealthier foods, if you will, then the energy out can't be going home and just video gaming. You got to get out, go
Hmm.
walk your dog or.
Or like take a fitness class or
Yeah, or
whatever.
take a fitness class, or these days it's the Wii, right? Oh, I have the Wii Fitness, or I have the Wii Golf or bowling. So, it's so different. I've seen such a shift in the screen time. I think screen time and healthy eating have a lot to do with it. And the quick fix of anything you Google or search, it's right at our fingertips, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, I remember like back in middle school, they showed a documentary called Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution. I don't know if you've
mm,
heard, but it's about a documentary that Jamie Oliver, this famed chef, he
yep.
goes to these school districts and then says, "Hey, we these kids are being fed, processed lunch. The diet needs to be changed in a more healthier way." And so he goes and fights with goes meets school districts and just kind of sees hands on what's going on in terms of like the meal sort of prep aspect of it. And it's just it's it was really eye opening. Honestly, it was just to sort of see how far he went, to talk to the school district, to go to school board meetings, to do all
Mm-hmm.
those sorts of stuff, to really advocate for healthier lunches. So that's one thing I took away from
That's
watching
so
that
good.
documentary.
We have a really good cafeteria manager who signed up for a program. So we have had dragon fruit come through our building, both the red and the yellow. We've had just tropical fruit that I grew up in Hawaii eating. I mean, we've been blessed. And there's a salad bar with fresh vegetables and fruit, and then they take their entrees. So things have changed a lot since you were here as far as the type of food program Seattle Public Schools have adopted. It's quite encouraging. So,
Hmm. My next question is, there's a lot of stuff going on in the advertising realm of, food, kind of, you know what I mean? Like advertising food products and stuff. So my question is, what's been going on in that realm of like advertising like foods and stuff? Because you see like in commercials with like McDonald's and KFC and all that kind of stuff. What's that sort of doing to us as consumers? Um, is that good thing, bad thing?
Again, I think it depends on the education that individuals have had around fitness and healthy eating. It's also it could be their body type, it could be a mental health issue, right? Like some people have food insecurities. And so they've gone without food for so long. And it's interesting that sometimes I'll be out in public at a grocery store and some of the people who are on food stamps or whatever, they're making like choices from the frozen area. So who knows? Maybe it's a convenience, right? The fast food, the media, but they're definitely targeting a certain population of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's definitely always going to be an influence. And I mean, we could talk about social media and media around body image, right? For young women and even young men that causes anorexia and other stuff. I mean, yeah, there definitely is, but I think it really is an individualized thing based on their education and maybe the region of the United States they live in, right? And access to education and just perspective. So,
Mm-hmm. My last question is, what can be done to change that? How can we sort of introduce people to eat smarter and healthier? Like you said earlier, it's people's, individual choice. They get to decide how they want to conduct their life. But just like from your perspective, what can be done to change that? Because you look at, things like obesity and all that kind of stuff. How can we sort of educate people to sort of say these are some of the nutritional benefits, the nutritional
right.
values of eating bread, whole milk, or whatever. Yeah.
Well, in my small footprint at Olympic View as the physical education teacher, I'm doing my best to uh, breed ambition and independence and education and inform our students about nutrition and fitness and how fitness is not it doesn't look like one thing. My program speaks volumes to all access. All kids can thrive in my program, and it doesn't matter what your body type is. um you know there's something for everybody. So it's healthy eating, but it's also understanding, if your family doesn't have a car, what can you do to get out and move your body? But yeah, it's just I'm using the Seattle Public Schools curriculum, and I continue to just teach about like the nutrients, what calories are, how they fit into reading labels, how to use it as a tool to measure, um, the kind of energy they want to fuel their body with. Um, and so I think that's the best, but people have opportunities to mature, right? And maybe move out of a house that's not healthy for them, and they can begin to become more independent and make different choices. So,
Yep. That's cool. Mhm.